Many times is this guy on TV, remember how? So John asked me to be on the program with him, which I was totally mortified. Remember, I refused to do it. And I said, I don't want it played 1,000 times, and I'd be the laughing stock of Northern Kentucky, right? Okay, so remember that? Okay, so I refused to go on. He's going, get up here, and I'm going, no, right? Remember that? Okay, anyway, I'm retired from teaching in Kenton County schools, and my husband's retired from the Treasury Department, and now we're working part-time. And this is a highlight of my life, to be with you all tonight. This is a great evening, and I appreciate all of you coming. We were having a great time. We would go to the committee meetings, and we had the best time, didn't we? Didn't we have the best time? Thanks again for coming, right?
Thank you, Pam. And you know something about, thank you, Pam, that's wonderful. You know something about public service. And I mentioned this, Pam being a retired school teacher, she's retiring, I think she's still teaching, but aren't you substituting some? She's still getting back to the classroom. She's like my sister, who's a teacher, still goes back and teaches. But sitting beside her is her husband. And I want to tell you something about this fellow, because his life was a life of sort of, I wouldn't say it was totally secret, but he was part of the Secret Service, or Treasury Department. And he gave his life and service to the country, watching over our presidents, watching over some very important people. And I want to say a special thank you to him tonight for that public service that he gave us.
Thank you very much. I do want to say I want a couple of things. I graduated from Ludlow in '61. I had some great times at Simon Kenton, because Simon Kenton was one of the few schools we could beat. and number two, there was only one other person that I played against in basketball that was skinnier than me that I could push around. And believe it or not, he's standing next to me.
I tell you what, when I graduated from high school, I weighed 145 pounds, and that was soaking wet. Only to be there again. Now when I move, just think about it though, what great shape my heart is in. Think about it. My heart has been carrying 150 pounds extra every day. So if I lose that weight, I'm going to have a heart that's unbelievable. Right, Richard? And, but when you're talking about basketball, one thing we always remind everybody from Simon Kenton. I did on television the other day when they interviewed me. I said, I just want to remind you something, Dick. That's Dick Von Hain. You know, the only team to ever win a state basketball championship from Northern Kentucky is what? Simon Kenton. All the big schools up here, all of them, from Lincoln Grant to Covington Catholic to Highlands to Dixie to Ludlow and all of them. The only one to ever win a state championship is Simon Kenton. I hope it doesn't change. Let's see now, Mary. Mary's father, of course, was one of the best doctors in Northern Kentucky, and Mary is a blessing to know, and we're so thrilled to have you here this evening. And you're living down, I think, around Paducah, aren't you?
Paducah, Kentucky. Thanks to Pam, I'm here, and it's good to see all of you, every one of you, and good to see you too, Carolyn and Marty and everybody. And I'm thankful I was able to make it. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. And over here next to Mary is Judy Compton, right?
Yes, it's nice to be here. This is the first reunion I've been to, and it's nice to see so many of my friends again.
Well, it's nice to see you, Judy. Huh? What's that now? Did you fly in, Judy?
I flew in this morning from Chicago, so I encourage everybody to fly. It's safer now.
I don't think we need to mistake you for being one of Bin Laden's aides.
Never.
Never. And sitting over here, we have, back up a little bit, Kenny. Let's see here. Yeah. I'll find that out here in a second. Let's see here now. Who do we have here?
Bill Fields.
Oh my gracious sakes alive. Dude, you still look beautiful.
Well, I do, don't I?
And Vicki, this is his wife?
That's right. 38 years.
Now?
We live in Burlington.
Down in Burlington. You become a Boone County, huh?
That was part of the deal.
Was that part of the deal? What do you do now, Bill?
I'm retired from Delta.
Retired from Delta. So we have another one in the transportation industry here. Richard's in the communications industry. We'll get over there to Richard in a second. Nice to have you, Bill. And we've been here, haven't we? Okay. Here's another old railroader. You know, one of the jobs I had working my way through college. They said, John, what did you do? I said, well, if you knew how many jobs I've held, you wouldn't believe it. But I was an old railroader with the L&N, and this fellow here's a railroader. Tell us a little bit about it, David.
I'm Jerry David Teagarden.
Stand up here. I know you're not bashful.
No. Yeah, I'm Jerry Teagarden. This is my wife, Glenda, and we're just really so glad to be here and see the crowd that we've got tonight. This is amazing. We've been to most of the reunions, but this is by far the very best. But with all these retired people, I think I must be in the wrong class because I'm not even close to retiring. I must be too young.
Must be. And sitting over here we have
Jim Bradley, my wife Carolyn.
Jim, anything you want to say to us?
I'm glad to see some people I've not seen really since graduation. It's been interesting.
And who do we have here with you? Your wife, and you want to say something?
I'm just glad to be here.
Class of 63.
Class of 63 joined with us here. Now over here, I have your attention here because we got one of our committee members, and Richard and I got in so much trouble in school. I'm telling you, I don't know how we made it through. It was, of course, Richard was smart, you know, but every time I'd look at Richard, we'd start laughing, and we'd get in trouble. Remember we got sent to Mr. Kenton's office, and he looked at me and said I was the ringleader, and he gave me swats and let you go back to the room. I never did quite get that. You're right. Richard, I know you want to say a few words?
I just enjoyed seeing everybody and really enjoyed working on the committee. And this is my wife Barbara, and we're both retired from Cincinnati Bell.
They're both retired from Cincinnati Bell. Boy, I'll be able to hit them up for a loan. I tell you what, and over here we have works with the Northern Kentucky Health Department. I tell you what, Kathy Kunkel Maines. Everybody remembers Kathy Kunkel from all of the products that her parents produced there along the highway. Boy, I'm telling you, she had the best garden, didn't she, Doug? She was always into everything 4-H, wasn't she? I'm gonna tell you something. You try to. She won every kind of prize and medal and badge that you could think of. Kathy, say a word to us.
Thank you. Hi, it's really great seeing everybody and putting faces with names that I haven't seen for a long time. And I hope we can get together often. I was looking at your questionnaire here, and it says, would you like to take a tour of Simon Kenton? Well, I tour it just about every day because that's where my son is. So I don't know if anybody else has that good fortune to still have their kids in school, but it's still the old school, and I remind everybody that there's my picture.
And who's here with you, Kathy? This is Milton Maines, and Milton's another one of those guys that gave his service to the state of Kentucky. He worked in the social services department, and just did a yeoman's job for many, many years. And anytime I wanted to find something out on the inside about what was really good for people and helping people out and assisting people, I could go confidentially to Milton and get straight answers. And I hope I'm not divulging anything there, Milton. You're not on the merit system anymore, are you? Say a word to us, Milton.
Well, it's good to be here, and I'm retired. And
Stand up, Milton.
Unfortunately, when you all graduated in '61, I was already teaching about 4 years in Pendleton County. I started teaching when I was 6. And then after teaching, I went on to the state. I know a lot of you in here, and I feel almost like one of the class members because of the fair, and I'm an auctioneer here, and the library, and all those things that I work with. So it is a pleasure to be here, and those that I haven't met, it's glad to meet you for the first time.
Thank you, Milton, for those words of wisdom. And Bonnie lives right across the street from where I grew up. She got to see my house demise. You talk about a traumatic experience. You go back and look and your house is gone where you grew up. I'm going to tell you, that put me into a little trauma there. You know?
Your house was burnt up.
Oh, geez, that happened to you, didn't it?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Bonnie. How many children?
We've raised 7 children. Our youngest is in junior in college now, so I still have one in school too. Not as young as yours, but we have 8 grandchildren. They're all very, very wonderful children.
And sitting behind you there is your hubby, Tom Strain. And Tom, you all got a nursery there on Martin Road, haven't you?
That's how we keep Bonnie busy during the summers. Make her work in the nursery and so forth. And I'm still working too. I work at the airport. Been there for 40 years.
Tom's been at the airport for 40 years, so we're in good hands there. Everybody should start flying again. I wish they'd make the seats a little wider, though. Think about it. Squeezing this seat into an airplane seat. If you think about that, then think about using the John. I'm going to tell you something. It's a real picture. And coming over here, now Jimmy Noakes was one of those basketball players at Simon Kenton High School. No, Jim Noakes, that's right. He told me coming over, he rode with us, and he said, now don't call me Jimmy. He said, my name is Jim. He said that I was Jimmy when we grew up. I said, I wasn't supposed to do that, so I'm sorry, Jim. Anything you want to say?
Well, I graduated in '63, but I know a lot of people here that graduated in '61, and I'm just glad to be able to see you again. It's been a long time. Thanks for having me.
And sitting next to Jim, I told him he had to be my wife's date tonight since I was doing all of this stuff, you know. I'm not going to let him hang around her too much, though. Get my drift? He's pretty handsome. You know, a little bit goes a long ways. What's that Ronald Reagan said? Trust but verify. But sitting here is my lovely wife, and I am very blessed by the Lord. It took me 4 tries. I am successful now. 16 years. She's got me well trained, or at least I've convinced her she does. But Jim, would you like to say a word or two?
No.
At least tell him you like me.
I love you, John.
That's all I need to hear. And over here, now Judy knew. Oh, what am I not supposed to do something?
Hi, my name is Donna.
I get the drift. This is a bashful table. Don't bother them. I had strict instructions. If they look like they don't want to talk, leave them alone. Well, I went to Simon Kenton. I'm no dummy. I get the message. I'm moving on. But anyway, we love you all. Let's have a hand for this table. Now, let's move up here. Now, Judy, I know you're not bashful. You taught school all your life. And you grew up the street from me. And you were smart. I always wondered what it was like to be smart. You know, I always wondered what it was like to be smart. Judy Stevens, every time they mentioned her name in the education circles, I said, yeah, she's one of my relatives. And I knew how smart she was. And I thought, they got to think I'm a little bit smart if I got some of those genes, right? Is that right, Judy? Say a word or two.
Hi, it's nice to be here.
Well, that was a word or two. That's all I asked for, wasn't it? And we love her. And beside her here is
Judy's husband.
Judy's husband. And over here we have
Annie Stevens. I'm with her.
And this is
Virginia Cruzy.
Virginia Cruzy. Now, Virginia, they can't see you back in the back of the room. Do you mind standing up? This is Virginia Cruzy back here now. Everybody, she's as beautiful as she ever was. We're blessed to have her in the class. And right down here beside you, Virginia's who?
Mary Forehand.
Now, pass that down so she can get on the microphone there. Boy, you're gonna run that around my body. That'll never make it.
Hi, I'm glad to be here. I came with Carolyn tonight. I was her guest, but I graduated in '62, so a lot of your faces are familiar. I'm just glad to be here.
Is Miss Menifee, right?
Yes.
I thought so. Go down and say, okay. Well, I love you. Now we got everybody at that table. Now, Rodney, you were another one. We was always in trouble.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal was between you, Richard, and I. Every class we got into, the funny bone got tickled, didn't it?
I remember when Red Spellman was going to whip me and you for something, but I can't remember what it was now. Can you? I think you said something to him.
I probably said something to him. I probably told him, I said, Rodney didn't like you, go beat up on him.
But anyway, I'm having a good time here tonight. It's good seeing all my old classmates, and I enjoy it.
Well, we're thrilled to have you, Rodney. God bless you. And this is?
I'm Pam Chapman, Rodney State.
Pam Chapman, Rodney State. Well, he's a man of wise judgment, I'll say that. You went to Simon Kenton.
Graduated in 72.
In 72. Fantastic. Well, you're part of that good school, too, then.
That's right.
And over here, one of our committee members, and Jerry's always been Mr. Cool. We love him for it. And I really do thank his son for doing the work on these beautiful little things here. Of course, when I look down there and see how skinny I am, Jerry, it concerns me.
Yeah, me too.
Jerry, say a few words to me.
I'm just tickled to death that everybody came that did, and I wish more had. And you know, some people don't like to reminisce, but I do. I love it. So I'm happy that everybody showed up.
Well, we are too. We're very happy that everybody's here. And across the street there, now this is Mrs. Talent, right? I thought so. And your first name is?
Mary Frances.
Mary Frances. And where are you all from, Mary Frances? Up in Virginia, right? Who was the farthest away coming in here? Who's farther away than Virginia? 600 miles. Chicago's not that far. There was somebody from Chicago. Well, that's a long way. It's like Owen County. They used to tell me Owen County was, Owenton was 30 miles from nowhere. But they had a big parade down there the other day called Sweet Owen Day. And my family, the Robinson family singers, that's my sister Mary Ruth, who went to Simon Kenton, and they all sang down there and entertained and did a beautiful job. Milton seen them out on the road a few times. But sitting here is one of those fellows that gave his life to our country. Terry, I remember us playing basketball together. You ran track with us. You were a fabulous athlete. You still are a fabulous athlete. I don't want you trying to get me in shape, though, Terry. Lay off of it. Wait till I turn around. I can't get that microphone cord around me. I can still turn around, Terry. Say a few words.
All right, I have a special favor to ask. Papa says no. If you were in the play in the senior class, please stand up. Please stand up. John also. There's something about the play that the rest of you probably never found out about. Mr. Edmondson's left the room, but we owe a big thanks to him for bailing out. There almost was not a senior class play. Simple reason being that the person in charge of directing the play came to work at Simon Kenton with fabulous credentials. One of the finest teachers on paper that you would ever see in your life. Nutty as a fruitcake. 1 week before the play's to go on, we're down there having a ball. Not one line, not one costume, not one stage prop, not nothing. In walks Mr. Edmondson. Nancy, what's going on? Oh, we're having the best time. Won't you come in and have some fun with us? He came in and bailed out. In 1 week, he put together in 1 week what it would have taken any other director. Can I have a vouch on that? Verify that? All right, thank you. Yes. Like I said, nutty as a fruitcake.